Well, hello, everybody, and thanks for coming out in this Saturday wetness. It's been Saturday raining for the last month or so. I'm Suzanne Anker. I'm chair of this department. I've been here a long time, and I've put this whole building together. And this is something you're not going to see anywhere else, because the idea of this department is to encapsulate the future, and the future is now. So you are going to see a bioart laboratory, you're going to see computer-generated sculpture, computer-generated sewing, painting, drawing, printmaking, you name it, we have it, okay? The building is 54,000 square feet. We do have some other studios over on West 21st Street where we have a major printmaking facility that has lithography, etching, silkscreen, bookmaking, woodcut, etc. We have the most real estate in the school. Our idea here is to combine new technologies with old technologies, because the skill sets that you develop here will allow you to kind of have a much broader idea and capability of getting a job. Because I know you're all very brave. I'm talking to the parents here now, who have sons and daughters who are here on the dark side, okay? Fine arts, gonna live in a garret, okay? This is not true, okay? It might have been true in the 19th century, but it's not true any longer. We've had students do all kinds of stuff, from working as a stand-up comedian, to a job as the assistant to one of the curators at the Museum of Modern Art, to working at the Whitney Museum, to starting their own businesses with some of the laser cutting technologies that we have here. She started her own greeting card company of cutouts. We've also had many students go on to graduate school, the best graduate schools in America and in Europe, such as Yale, Columbia, Cal Arts, etc. So, why fine arts? A lot of times when someone wants to study fine arts, they meet a lot of resistance at home, saying, okay, you're gonna do this, I don't think it's a good idea, but you let them anyway. And you make the right decision, because I have had students come back who were not allowed to study fine arts, who went into other professions, even medicine and law, to come back to study fine arts, because it's not a choice. It's essentially a calling. And if someone wants to be a creative person with a creative life, you can't stop them. It will boomerang, okay? So, that's pretty much what I have to say here. And I'm going to open this dialogue with our esteemed panel here, who are students in the program and probably can tell you more secretive stuff than I know, okay? So I am going to have them introduce themselves to you. And then I will ask a couple of questions, and then it will be up to you to ask them more. Okay, so let's pass this down. Your name, where you're from, and why you chose SVA.
Hi, good morning, everyone. My name is Rena de la Luz. I'm Puerto Rican from the Bronx, so I commute here. um, I chose SVA because I felt a lot of my idols went here, and I just was interested in the different programs that SVA had to offer that I didn't feel I was being offered in other institutions. I felt there were more people like me, queer bodies, and I just felt safer in this environment, in this community, and I don't regret my choice. I'm extremely happy to be here. So yeah.
Hello, my name is Diana Torres. I'm Dominican and I live in Long Island, New York. The reason why I went to SVA is upon research, I feel like this is like the best fine arts program. Like I look at other colleges and I was like, it's not that good. But then you come to SVA and this is the best program.
Hi, my name is Grace. I'm from Canada, and the reason why I came here was not going to lie. The decision was based solely on the location. Like I thought that New York City was the best for, studying fine arts and getting to know like people in general. And I'm really happy I came here because I feel like deep down I know I wanted a community like this to, learn from other people and just to grow together. And I really do feel really lucky to be here, and getting to know like everyone here was a very, very fascinating experience. So, yes.
Hello, you all. My name is Velma, and I was born and raised in China, Shanghai, and I had my high school in Vancouver, Canada, and now I'm here for my BFA education. I would say one of the reasons I choose SVA is that the location. We're like 4th Street down from the Chelsea galleries, so which is like a main district of like our galleries. We have one of the most famous gallery Pace, Gogoshin, and then be able to go to this largest gallery in the country during your like lunch break is fascinating. And then I personally often do that, and I recommend you all to do that too. And one of the other reasons is that SVA has some rare like setting where you're able to study everything in fine art, painting, sculptures, 3D print art once, rather than just narrow down to a very specific medium. Because I know some school in New York does do that. So I think that's one of the reasons it's make SVA very competitive. And then we're also a very active community where we collaborate a lot with people from different major design, animation, and illustration too. So.
Hey, I'm David. I'm from Maine, and I came to SVA because I knew that I couldn't really feasibly be an artist in a more rural place. So it was like, okay, New York, big gallery scene, a lot of support, both culturally and economically for that. So SVA's staff, the teaching support, all of it is very robust. So that's why I picked the school. It's really great. And Velma talked about it, but the access to the commercial gallery scene is really, it allowed me to have a sense of what art is today. I thought that was important. So.
Yeah, well, that's the major question. What is art? Okay, and there is really no consensus about that, and I'm sure you have all walked into museums and galleries and asked yourself the question, where is the art? Okay, but at the same time, if we go back to Aristotle and hear from him, he says that art is the poetica episteme, which is the sensual portrayal of an idea. And that is why the humanities and sciences are so important as a data bank in order to learn about how one can express the zeitgeist or feeling of the time, okay? Which is critical for your development as an artist. It's not only about mimetic skills, which we also have here, but it's about interpreting for future generations what was happening at this time. That is the critical phase of art and very important for civilization itself. So I'm going to introduce a little bit of my staff. And one of the things that is so great here is that all of my staff are artists. Besides being technical wizards, and each staff member being an expert in their particular area, which is really something that many schools do not have, that they don't have the safety precautions that we have here, where someone's running around putting pots in a kiln and then going into the wood shop. We have point people in every area. So there is a real dedication to safety here in operating some of these machines. So for example, in the wood shop, we have a saw that senses flesh. So if you put your hand over it, the blade recedes. How do we know? We tried it with hot dogs, okay? So let me introduce some of these staff members. Let them introduce themselves, and they will tell you what they do here.
Hello, my name's Jason. I'm the operations manager. I take care of the entire building. I interface with the facilities and keep everything kind of moving between departments. I also work very closely with the seniors once they get their personal studios. I help them with installation projects and design issues, directing them often towards our more technically advanced staff.
Hello, my name is Federico Fede. I'm one of the system administrators, and we do a lot of things, but okay, the official title is system administrators. On the second floor, well, you're gonna see we have one of the most complete and compelling CNC labs, I would say CNC fabrication labs in the city. We do everything. We cut, carve, print, 3D print, whatever it is. So yeah, I mean, we're here to help the students with their technical needs. Crazy sometimes, but that's what we are here for.
Hi folks, my name is Daniel. I'm the sculpture manager, which basically means like ground floor and basement. And I'm here to assist you guys. If you have anything that's three-dimensional in space, I'm interested in it. And so is the staff here. And we're all like very specialized sort of in our areas of expertise. But you can like ask us any questions, and we'll help you along with anything that you need to know. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Sam. I'm the director of operations here. I do a lot of administrative work and other kinds of things. My office is on the 5th floor, and students are always welcome to come and see me with any issues that they have about scheduling or any concerns at all. My office is right next to Suzanne's, so they can also come and meet with Suzanne as well. We're very open about students coming to us with problems that they have. We definitely want to know about all of that kind of stuff. And also, I just want to mention that we have a wonderful faculty here as well. We have really great instructors. They're all working artists as well, and they offer our students a wonderful resource as well.
Hello, I'm Joseph. I'm also a systems administrator, so I kind of take care of the digital stuff on the 2nd floor, all the photography, video, sound workflows that we have up there, the printing, with help of David, who's not here, but yeah.
Hi, my name is Tara Rhoda. I run the SVA BioArt Lab, which is very much the first of its kind in an art school. It's a space in which artists can use the tools and the trades of science as a creative practice. So we do everything from painting with bacteria to growing sculptures out of mushrooms and taking photos under the microscope. It's very much a workflow, a project-based learning workflow, so our students don't need to have a background in science in order to participate. It's a very material, studio-based course.
Hi everyone, my name is Zoe. I'm the studio manager here, so I work really closely with Jason and mostly assist him with all the projects he has going on in the building, including working with the seniors in the studios and just making sure everyone's being happy and safe. Hi everyone, I'm Anna. So I'm the assistant sculpture manager here. So I work really close with Daniel and also Dakin. So our office is here. So I'm always assist Daniel with overseeing the facility on the ground floor, and also I'm especially like the ceramic technician. So I work downstairs, the basement, the ceramic studio. Maybe later you will go to have a look at that. So I oversee that facility, especially the kilns. So I will help students loading the kilns and unloading the kiln to make sure the student work is safe. Yeah.
My name's Dakin. I'm the weekend sculpture manager. So when students come in on the weekends, I help them out with any kinds of projects or teach them how to use certain machines on the first floor and ground floor. And I assist Daniel and Anna with any operations during the week as well.
Well, thank you very much. I just want to, Jason, can you hold this up for a minute? Just to show you how radical we are here. This is ceramics that was not made by hand. This was made by a machine. So the idea here is to organize a kind of file. And then, like spaghetti, the ceramics printer follows that information and pumps this out. And you'll see many things like that in the digital room when you go on tour. Pretty amazing stuff. Okay, now in the fourth year, everybody gets a private studio, 24/7. But if you go out, like at 11 o'clock, decide you're going to go to the local pit stop, you can't come back in. So we want to make sure that our students are safe. They could stay here overnight in their senior year if they want to, but and there's a guard on duty 24/7. The building's also open on weekends so that they can continue their work during that time. So let's go back to the panel and maybe talk about housing. Where do you live and why do you live there?
That's a really good question, especially here. I'm not sure if you guys have seen the dorms, but I live off campus, and I feel like a lot of my peers do as well. I live in Brooklyn, and I take the train in. It's very smooth. Yeah, it's good.
Hi guys. So I personally live in Long Island City, so that's the place like right above Brooklyn, so it's in Queens. If you take the E train, it'll take you probably 11 stops. It's only about 25 minutes on the train, no transfer required. So that's awesome. For anybody who is gonna want to dorm in the first year, I strongly recommend. I have been as an OL, which is orientation leader, for 2 years, and it's amazing to see how students bind with each other during the first year and be able to have an amazing relationship with each other and be able to find someone as a roommate for the following years. So that's awesome.
So I live in Koreatown, and it's about a 25-minute walk to here. But sometimes I take the train, and the train is only like 10 minutes, so it's really a really convenient location. But I used to live in the dorms in my sophomore year, and I would say I would recommend dorming the first year, just because, like Velma said, like bonding with everyone is like a basis of the experience here, and I feel like that really helped me like adjust to everything. But moving on to like third or like fourth year, I really recommend like living off campus, just because it gives you a lot more freedom. So.
Hello, I'm back. I live in the dorms. I came sophomore year because I transferred, never left. I live too far away from home. I normally take the train, and if it's a weekend, I end up taking the bus because the train don't work on the weekends. But I came here on a bus. But normally I just take the out train. It takes me about 25 minutes, and I arrive. Pretty plain and simple.
Hi again. So as I mentioned before, I live in the Bronx. So my commute is not necessarily convenient or time efficient, but that is my choice. I definitely have to do a lot of planning ahead. It takes me about an hour, maybe an hour and a half on a bad day. But I personally would recommend dorming at least your first 2 years. From what I've seen, like from my friends, I feel like it's a great way to build like an instant community. When you move here from another country, from another state, if you don't have people that you know yet, it's great to just, build community, learn your environment, learn the city better as well, because you can, travel from campus to campus and stuff. So I definitely recommend it. But yeah, find your own place, move in with a friend when you can, and yeah.
Does anyone have any questions yet?
The dorms are 25-minute train ride?
Yeah, about that time. It's pretty much, yeah. The L train is like, I think the 24th Street and First Avenue. So it's like a pretty quick. They come pretty fast with the L train.
That's one of the dorms, okay? There are several dorms.
That is the one I chose. It's the newest one.
Because it's all way on the east side.
Yeah.
My question is for the person who's a transfer student. Would you say the application process as a transfer is like a little bit more difficult, or like what's different about it?
Oh, I got my own microphone. Honestly, it's really, really simple. I just pretty much asked my college, send my information over, and I was like, here's information. The college took it, and they're like, okay, over the phone, like, okay, what classes you want? And I was like, I don't know. And I just kept saying, I was like, this is the classes I want. And then from there, it went smooth sailing. It wasn't too hard. It's like applying to college, just easier, less classes to take.
Yeah, another thing I want to talk, if there are any more transfer students here, if you feel you have not received the adequate number of credits that were transferred in, please come and see me with a course description of the course you think that you were not awarded, because different schools name their courses in alternative ways, and if it's the same content with a different name, I don't want the student repeating that class. Okay? Were there any other questions here for now?
I do have one question. I live on Staten Island. My daughter-in-law lives in in fact, I'm living in New York City, but on Staten Island. The commute could be harder than maybe Bronx or Brooklyn. Another question I really have is, I know there's a dorm, but how you deal with that there is no major campus? I mean, like a usual the college. So how you build up your casual time or free time?
Pretty much Your roommate and you have when you have a connection, 10 p.m. is like pretty much like you can't really make noise in the hallways, but you could come in at any time you want. If you want to come back to your dorm at 3 a.m., which I don't recommend, it's not safe, but if you want to come back at 3 a.m., you come back. It's 24/7. It's just like this school, 24/7. Yeah, it's pretty chill.
I personally know all my friends first through the classes we took together, because a lot of the classes are like 6 hours, so which give you a lot of time to collaborate. And also by like going to events and activities. I just went to my friend's opening last night, and I was be able to know more people from the MFA program even, and then people from different school like Pratt, and then Parsons, etc. So think that, yeah, that's the way.
There is a student center on 23rd Street that is a hub, but this building itself becomes a hub. People hang out here, they eat here, and there are many clubs that even meet here or in other places. So there are a number of events that take place where students can bond with one another. The thing about art is that it is a 24/7 enterprise, that it is, something one doesn't do it as a hobby, but is engrossed at all times. So in that sense, this building functions for the fine arts students as a way to hang out. Okay? You might need a mic for other people.
There's a lot of buildings in this immediate area, 21st, 23rd, on different avenues. For the students that take different classes in different buildings, they say in one day they have a class on 27th and they need to go to 21st on the east side. Do you have shuttle buses that take the students back and forth?
Yes, we have shuttle buses that students can board. There should be a schedule in the lobby if they are going to a building on the east side or another one on the west side, or if it's a nice day, they can walk over. But we do have shuttle buses. Any other questions?
Could you just talk a little bit about your freshman year experience and the foundation classes and all that?
Was anybody a freshman here?
Yeah. I can talk. So I was a freshman here. So there was a regimen of like studio classes that we were supposed to take, and then humanity classes on top of that. Our foundations, like as a freshman, you take foundation studio classes. So that would be sculpture, drawing. Yeah, it's been a long painting. So all of the foundations that you need. And I'm pretty sure sophomore year we get a technology requirement. So these studio classes usually are from like 3 to 9 or from 9 to 3. They take up a lot of our time, but it's really to get the critical focus that we need on each subject. And of course we get like an hour break, for leisure to eat. I thought freshman year was great. I mean, foundational is an understatement. And it definitely also helps you kind of pick the direction in which you want to move forward in your future, academic career. Like I personally am not a painter, but of course I still took, foundations painting and chose, hey, this isn't really what I'm interested in, but it was still super helpful. And I think that those foundations classes are super helpful. And you have them with the same people, more or less. So it also helps you, learn your people, learn your community. Yeah, make fast friends.
Yeah, the foundation curriculum is 15 credits. It's literature and writing, it's art history, it's painting, drawing, and sculpture, And in the second semester, it's all of that, but instead of sculpture, it's digital fabrication. So students learn how to essentially create files for their work. In the second year, they are required to, again, take more humanities, another art history, the sophomore seminar, which is half photography and half video. They can take painting or ceramics. That's where the electives come in the second year. Those of you who are interested in the honors program, I know a lot about it because I'm the co-architect of it. And what it aims to do is to start thinking about an increased awareness of the humanities and sciences as they interface with the visual art. For those students who are academically inclined, it's a great program. For those who feel that they're not and don't want the extra homework, then they should not apply for it. Okay? Now, you are the only freshman here. Why did all of you transfer in?
So I wanted to go to school for industrial design because that's what you do when you like to make things and you think engineering and you think I have to make money. But I realized that I was interested in way more things than industrial design was capable of, fulfilling. And, mass production kind of goes against my broader interest as well. So I realized that I wanted to be an artist and this was the place to go for it because of a foundation year, actually, which was another interdisciplinary kind of thing. Granted, mine was more focused on design.
Where did you transfer from?
Oh, that's a good question. Emily Carr in Vancouver. But the thing is, the pandemic happened, so I was doing it over Zoom from another college, which was like a science and technology college. So it was a very strange circumstance. But
I also got into Emily Carr, and they have like awesome program for industrial design because I've been there for my friends, like open studio before. I was actually here for my freshman year, but then it was online, so I don't have much to say about that.
Same for me. My freshman year was also conducted online, and because of that, I feel like I don't know much about how, freshman year in general, functions, but it being online in a way, I feel like it did prepare me for an easier transition to coming here in person and getting to know the city, because it really is a completely new place for me. So I feel like it in a way just made me made the whole experience a lot easier for me. So
I went to Suffolk County Community College. I wanted to make sure I wanted the visual art before I jump in, because sometimes you're not sure, but then it confirmed. My first year was regular here, and the second year COVID came, but I still got my foundations to transfer over here, and I took some high school, college classes, so it was pretty smooth sailing. Yeah, it was pretty easy to get in here, get into the. I didn't have to take English. I was so happy.
Yeah, that was a very rough period for all of us. And I was teaching online as well as running the department online. We didn't have much notice. Sort of one day, the president of the school says we're closing up and everything is going online. And of course, we didn't have the backup knowledge of Zoom yet. But we got very good at it. We even did our end of the semester shows. Every semester we turn the entire building into a gallery, and we invite the public to come in, and critics and curators and artists and other types of people, such as parents, grandparents, aunts, uncles, etc. And they come in and they enjoy viewing the work. Well, during COVID, we had big online exhibitions. We even did one of our 2020 catalogs for that period, and I'm sure all of you experienced the COVID as a shutdown. Okay. Any other questions?
For the panel, I was just wondering if any of you come from some kind of art school, meaning high school. Some of the children that are here today, some of them do and some of them don't. So we were just wondering, for those who did come from an art high school, if you had a struggle in freshman year, and the ones that did not, what was your struggle like versus somebody that did come from a art high school or a performing high school?
So I happen to come from an art high school, and I definitely feel it prepared me in many ways, not only academically, but artistically as well. And I definitely feel that it is a privilege to be prepared for an environment like this. Yeah, I think it was a healthy transition, you know. Not only was I used to some things and ready and excited for some things, but I was also not prepared and was challenged. But it was, you know, a healthy challenge. That I will say was definitely a plus. Yeah. I went to the Calhoun School in the Upper West Side.
I did not actually. My school was because if I was in the city, you have the choice. But since in Long Island, just go whatever school bus takes you to school. That's where you're going. But they had a really, really great art program, and I was in clubs, a National Art Society. So I was. A lot of people knew me for the art in school, but I wish I had the luxury to have an art school. Yeah, because my cousin, she had the opportunity to go to an art college, and an art high school, and I couldn't, because I just thought it was like nice to have a college like high school like that, but I didn't. But I still have fun.
So I came from an art high school. It's called Etobicoke School of the Arts. It's in Toronto, Canada, and I feel like it's very much like how senior year functions. It's very individualized. It's very self-driven, but I felt like I was making things like constantly, like nonstop, but so I wasn't able to like figure out what I truly wanted. So like freshman year, like I said, it was online for me, and I was forced to make things like smaller scale and make, I guess, less work. So that was really a period of time where I was focused on, you know, just like figuring out, you know, which direction I wanted to go into and that kind of stuff, and as well as like building like foundational skills. So in a way it prepared for, you know, coming here, but also it was very different. Like it wasn't anything I expected, but it was an interesting experience. So
I didn't really go to like a art high school. I just go to like a regular high school, and then I don't think I have like a lot of problem with that. One of the reasons I have studied art since I was little, and I also have pretty good adaptation in terms of like accepting new things. And I think, yeah, and I know a lot of people coming to the school that didn't really go to like art college, like art high school. And I personally only have 3 years of experience of like in-person classes, but I think I'm doing in a pretty good place. So I don't think there's like much of worry on that, like specific problems.
Yeah, I didn't go to an art high school either, but I was under the impression that I wish I did for a while, which I think doesn't make a lot of sense in retrospect because, there were people coming in from whatever background with pretty solid mimetic representation, like they could look at something and then put it on the paper. But being an artist is much more complicated, certain engagements with research, and I didn't take a painting class in high school. I almost exclusively oil paint now, and my engagement with that came from just love for it. So I think that's a really good place too to find your own tools, despite maybe not having like preparatory sort of circumstances.
I didn't go to an art high school either. So essentially, you can do what you do as best as you can. Because everyone who comes here was probably one of the best artists in their class. I remember when I was in kindergarten and the teacher used to hang up my pictures on the wall, and the boy next to me used to tear them down. And I didn't like that very much, and the teacher said he does that because he likes you, okay? So essentially, I was an artist in kindergarten. Like many of the people here today, that they were very attracted to world making, because artists make their own world and they live in it. And it is both a great luxury and a great curse, okay? So basically, it is something that you have to do to keep your sanity straight, okay? Any other?
With the Bachelor of Fine, getting a Bachelor in Fine Arts, can you get as well as a minor and a concentration focus, like other, I guess, general colleges?
We don't have minors here, okay? We have the major, and students are allowed to take courses in other departments in the school, whether they want to take an animation course or a photo course that is more deeply ingrained. But we have a lot of electives. So if student wants to get has a real interest in printmaking, they can keep on taking different printmaking classes.
Are there opportunities for students to work around campus, like student jobs?
Yes, there are. In fact, many of these students are student workers here. They work in the tool room, they work with Jason, they work with Joe in the digital lab, they work in the bio lab. Many, many opportunities. There's also a year abroad program where people can go for a year to different countries in Europe. We do also have or I don't know if it's still in existence, but we had a program during spring break where students could go to Cuba. And that was very interesting. It was a printmaking class. But we have the Netherlands, we have France, we have Spain, we have other ones as well.
He had mentioned to me that there was a pre-college program here at SVA starting, and I think there's one now, and there's another one in January. Can you give us a little bit of information about that?
I know the pre-college program runs in the summer, and I'm going to introduce you to someone who knows more about it than I do.
Hi, everyone. Hi, everyone. I'm Nisha Chaudhary, and I'm the assistant director from Grad Admissions. So we do have pre-college for spring, fall, and summer. If you have specific questions, I can give you the contact info for the assistant director. Just get in touch with me. But yes, thank you.
Thank you very much.
What would like a regular day of class be? Like a studio, maybe like painting be?
That's a very good question. So during the year, you take 5 classes, and the BFA degree is particularly great because I think 70% of that is studio credits. So our studio classes run between 5 and 6 hours, sometimes 3, depending on the specificity of it. But, you know, classes, there's like a 9 a.m. block. Sometimes it's like a 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. situation, which those are particularly fun, right? But, you know, you can really build your schedule however you want to. So I'm a student worker, so sometimes I'm here like my Mondays, I'm working 9 to 3 with Jason, and then 3 to 9, I'm in class.
Yeah, I would say we're in the similar setting where a regular day probably look like, I'm a morning person, so it's usually 9 to 3 or 9 to 12. Take a lunch and then go work. If I have like student work shift. If not, I'll just work on my arts for the afternoon and go back to home.
So I personally also had like 9 to 9 situations last year, but I didn't really like hate it. I feel like you come in and then, you know, we kind of gather together and we have like some sort of talks during the class, and then just going over like the basics, and then maybe like sometimes we'll do critiques, which could go anywhere between 2 hours to 6 hours. So that's like the hard part, I guess, for me, because it's really hard for me to like sit there for long periods of time. But other than that, it's very self-driven. Like you sit there and then you do work, and then you can like take a break and go out and grab food and then come back anytime. So yeah, you just kind of have to work around like your own schedule.
Well, right now, me and Rena, we are graduating this December, so we're out like soon. And we're taking thesis 2 right now, so it's like a 9 to 9 thing. So we're just like back to back. But honestly, I don't really notice it until I'm done. I was like, oh my God, I did a whole day. I did a whole entire day.
So unlucky for me, totally my fault. I actually have 18 credits this semester, which is kind of a big load on me, but that was my fault. But I will say, yes, we do have 9 to 9. Sometimes we do have 9 to 9 class periods, but there's a huge significant break in between. And what I was gonna say was, no, it's okay. But yeah, 18 credit semester can be a little difficult. But oh, right, our advisor, Dora, she is like the fine arts academic advisor. She's super accommodating. If there is an issue in your schedule and there's something that's not working out, or if your classes are like interfering with one another, she's super accommodating in helping you get the schedule that is perfect for you. Because I commute, I prefer not to take early classes at 9 a.m., but this semester, like, I have to. But there are ways to work around it. You know, if you have exhausting schedules, there are ways to, you know, like, find you time even in your class days. It's just about, like, you know, finding the accommodations for it.
Those are the most extreme cases, okay? There are also other cases where students are only here 3 or 4 days a week. That's the other side of it. So, students can work out their schedules depending on what their transportation needs are and other kinds of stuff. Now, one other thing I wanted to mention to you is AI. And that's been a big subject at the school. And it's been controversial by different departments, have different rules about AI. So, for example, in design or illustration, students are not allowed to use AI. In fine arts, we have our tech team giving seminars in AI, and students are welcome to use AI as a tool because it's a tool for the future, and the future is here. So we have to now figure out how to use it. In the humanities, one can use AI if one cites the prompt and the program that has been used like a footnote. And if anyone here has used AI, it's very easy to see a written statement by AI because it leaves out the details, okay? So, but it's for students who need help writing. I think it's a good kind of program to help them focus on an idea that they can then adapt in their own language. So again, the Fine Arts Department is very interested in this intersection of both traditional painting and new technologies. Okay? Yep.
How does choosing a major work? Like, do you have your design foundation year and then you choose a major at the end, or you transfer in with a major?
The way this school works is that you choose your major when you come in. So at 18 or 17 or 19 or 20 years of age, you take your first step into defining your education. But sometimes you make a mistake, and sometimes you don't want to do what you thought you might want to do. So it's possible to transfer between departments and get most of your credits, if not all, in doing that. We get many transfers from the illustration department because many parents feel that illustration is a way to get a job, but it's not true, okay? It's another one of those myths like artists live in the garret, okay? So, any further questions? One more.
So I highly recommend, as Suzanne already mentioned, so you will already be applying. So if you're interested in fine arts, you will be applying for BFA Fine Arts. If you're on the fence, I highly recommend you reach out to our admissions counselors team. I can give you the links, but if you Google SVA counselors, it's the first one. And basically, they can take a look at your portfolio and let you know, like, they feel like you're a good fit for fine arts or something else. So while it is a little easier to transfer between departments for the foundation majors, such as illustration, fine arts, comics, and design, if you are thinking about switching into animation, it doesn't work that easily. So I highly recommend that you reach out to our admissions team and get to know what's fit for you before you make that decision of applying. Because it is, depending on which major you're applying to, it is difficult.
Not for fine arts. There was one more question here.
I just wanted to ask, what's the average class size? Like, is it really small in knit kit? That's really.
Okay, for foundation, it's generally around 20 students. as you go up the ladder into different electives, it could be anywhere from 10 to 20. Could be 15, it could be 12, et cetera. It could even be 8. So it really depends on what the course is. But foundation is a lot of students, around 20 students in foundation. Okay, I think we've exhausted the questions here. So I'd like to thank the panel and our staff. And invite you all for lunch, and then afterwards you'll be breaking into groups led by some of our student workers to see the facilities, and I'm sure you're going to be amazed because it's amazing. Okay? Thank you.